Welcome to the Tryline Podcast. I'm your host, Bo. This is my co-host, the People's host, Denny. How you going, mate?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. The Cowboys played just an horrendous side on the weekend. It was an easy win, not even a danger game. We just walked through these scrubs, so that was really good. How did your team go on the weekend?
I don't want to talk about my team. I've changed teams.
Who are you going for now? The 1997 Newcastle Knights?
No, not the Knights actually, because they did woeful as well. Who is my team from now on? I go for Storm. Go for Melbourne.
Smart.
We did really well this week actually.
Yeah,
My team.
real underdog story. You are.
Yeah.
It's better to go for a team in the past anyway. You might as well just go for the Newcastle 97 squad because you know they win the grand final.
All right. Well, I'll go for 97 Knights then. We won.
Smart.
We win.
All right, speaking of 97 Knights, we're going to be doing our top 10 players in the NRL era. I've seen a couple of lists. There's some that I don't really agree with, so we're going to do ours today. We're also going to go through and pick origin sides based on players we don't think will be in the starting sides for those two teams. So we're going to do both of those this week, and then, of course, we'll get into the games. We'll break those down. But let's start with the top 10 players in the NRL era. Let's go, Denny.
Righto. So at number 10, we're going to be counting down today. We got Anthony Minicello. Bit of a roughie, I know, but hear me out. 302 games in the NRL, 139 tries, 6 grand final appearances. Dally M fullback of the year in 2004 and Golden Boot winner in 2005. Probably up there with one of the greatest fullbacks of all time.
I think the other greatest one is on the list as well.
Yes.
In number 9, we're going Denny Badiris. I really liked Denny Badiris. I think he had a good time in the NRL, 3-time Hooker of the Year, over 250 NRL games, New South Wales captain, also won a grand final in 2002. Really solid player for the Knights, New South Wales and Australia, and I think he deserves to be on this list.
Yep, me too. Good pick there. At number 8, I've gone for Freddie Fittler, Brad Fittler. Fun fact, he won Dally M Player of the Year in 3 different positions, centre, lock and 5'8". He made 6 grand finals, but he only won the 2 of them, but he was just a great competitor. But
yeah, and now New South Wales
coach.
Yeah, New South Wales coach, and he's killing it there as well.
Yeah, but the 3 Dally M positions was what did it for me. That's awesome. Don't see that very often.
No. Number 7, another player that was really good across multiple positions, Greg Inglis. Now, I'll get into what he done, but there was a moment in time when he went to South, I think for like a year, 2 years. He was easily the best player in the game at the time. He was unstoppable. He would score tries from anywhere, even take the ball out of dummy half and score. But probably the best centre to ever play the game. Tortured people on the right edge defence. Won grand finals at 5'8" centre and fullback. So that's almost to Brad Fittler there. He won grand finals at 3 different positions, which is unheard of. Really was outstanding in that 2014 grand final for South. So I think he deserves to be on the list as well.
Yep, nice. I think you've got the next one, don't you?
I'm doing Slater?
Yeah,
I'll do Slater because he
Yeah.
scored 190 tries in the NRL. He is recognised as the best fullback in the game, I think. Best fullback to ever play. Stood up in the big moments. He had 23 tries in 32 finals games. Was outstanding at all levels of the game, especially for Queensland. So, yeah, Slater.
Yeah, Slater at number 6 there. And into our top 5 now. And this was a bit of a tricky one for me and Bo. Could have gone either way. But we've gone number 5, Cooper Cronk. So the legend Cooper Donkey. He made it to 4 grand finals in a row twice. Yeah. He won 3 grand finals in a row with 2 different teams. And 9... He made 9 all up, and he won the 6. And I think he's top 2 or 3 halfbacks to ever play the game.
I think once you lay it out, you don't really understand how great he was until you have a look.
Yeah.
You have a look back at everything he'd done. His win percentage at every level for every team he played in was just crazy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people talk about the Melbourne system and players winning inside that system, but he left the Storm in 2017 after they won a grand final and then went and won back-to-back grand finals with the Roosters. So, yeah, he's a top 5 player in the NRL for sure.
Yeah. And we had a look at his international games. So he played 30 games for Australia. He only lost 4.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yep, I agree. Number 4.
On number 4, hold on, that's Darren Lockyer.
Yep.
Another one that I thought maybe Cooper Cronk could have gone over, but we've stuck with him. He was a 3-time fullback of the year and 3-time 5'8" of the year. He never lost the grand final either. He's 4 of 4, and he was just a great player with the Broncos there, boy.
I think a couple of players on this list are on this list because they dominated in multiple positions. Like, he was a world-class fullback and a world-class 5'8", and he was a great leader for Queensland, Australia, and the Broncos. So He's number 4. Number 3, one of my personal favourites of all time, Jonathan Thurston. Honestly,
too high.
You just need to... You're kidding yourself. You just need to have a look at his accolades. 4-time halfback of the year, 4-time player of the year. He's also a 3-time 5'8" of the year, 3-time Golden Boot winner. He won 2 grand finals. He won a Clive Churchill Captain of the Year, Provan Summons medal. He seriously achieved everything there was in the game. Willie Lewis medal as well. So, Jonathan Thurston, and always a special place in my heart, bringing our first grand final to the club. So, top 3 player in the NRL era.
Maybe. We'll see. Debatable. Anyway, on to number 2. We've gone with Cameron Smith, Camouflage. He won Dally M Hooker of the Year 8 times, Captain of the Year 5 times, 430 games in the NRL, 8 grand final appearances. I think he's probably one of, if not the smartest players to ever play. The way he would get refs on his side, almost unbelievable. And he was part of that awesome Origin side that went 8 in a row.
Yeah. I think number 1, people would have worked it out by now. You're wearing the jersey, Andrew Johns. He's the king. He's the best player I ever watched playing. Growing up as a Queensland fan as well, it was hard to watch him. I hated him growing up. But he was just awesome at what he did. Scored 23 points in his first ever starting appearance for Newcastle. 2 grand finals, 4-time halfback of the year, 3-time player of the year, rugby league immortal, and he's the king of Newcastle. Oh, Joey Jones.
He's a G.
He's the G. He's the J.
He's the J, yes.
He's the J. Mr. J. All right, let's get into some Origin chat.
Yeah.
We've got the teams.
We do
So
have the
we're
teams.
not... I reckon we don't let them know who we've tipped to make the side. They can work that out by who we haven't put in these teams.
All right, so we'll just pick the side that we don't think is going to get picked.
Yes, and this is only the starting team. So some of the players that are in our team might make the bench for New South Wales, but we don't think they'll be picked in the starting squad for that team. So I'll read out New South Wales, you read out Queensland.
Yeah, nice, yep.
All right. For New South Wales, at fullback, I've gone Ryan Pappenhausen. On the wing, I don't really agree with this because I think Crichton will get picked, but we have differences in opinion. I won on the Jonathan Thurston one, you win on this one.
Yes.
So I'll go Crichton on the wing with Alex Johnson. In the centres, Jackie Whiten and Katoni Staggs. In the halves, Nico Hines and Mitch Moses. In the front row, Dale Finucane and RCG. Dale Finucane would be the captain of this side. Api Coruscant at 9. In the back row, Kalol Matangi, Tavita Pengai Jr. and at lock, Victor Radley.
That's still a good side.
It's a great side.
Yeah, so just to clarify, this is the team that we don't think is going to get picked.
Yes. This is the best of the rest.
Yes, that's a good one. Best of the rest. Nice.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to the Queensland side. We've got Reece Walsh at fullback, Kyle Felt and Selwyn Cobbo on the wings. We've got Murray Tuolangi and Brimson in the centres, Dearden and Hunt in the halves. We've got Hunt to captain that side. In the front row, we've gone Pat Carrigan, Lindsay Collins, with Reid Marnie at 9. In the back row, Felice Kafusi and Jeremiah Nanai, and Ruben Cotter to round it off at lock.
That's a real handy side as well.
It's not
And
bad.
that's a little bit more of a form side, I think, too. Like that, a lot of those players have a bit of form behind them right now.
Yeah.
So based on those, see if you can guess our starting teams for New South Wales or Queensland. Have a crack in the comments. See if you can guess who we've picked to start. And let us know what you think of those teams. Let us know what you think of our top 10 list. And let us know what you think of the Parramatta Eels in the 2022 season.
No.
You don't want that?
No. Let's just get on to the games, mate.
Let's get into the games.
All right, the first game, we had the Broncos. They upset the Sharks up at Suncorp. Now, you did say this, I think it was last week. The Broncos are always good up at Suncorp. And the Sharks...
And they're not great at Suncorp either, the Sharkies.
No, exactly. So
why don't I tip this?
you should have just tipped it.
I went 3 of 8 this week.
I think me too.
I went 3 of 8. It was horrendous. It was so bad. Broncos 16 over the Sharks 7, and the Sharks. I said in our pre-game last week, I said if the Broncos have game planned and can shut down Plan A, then will the Sharks have a Plan B? And you scoffed at it, but that's what happened.
What?
They shut down Plan A early. Now, they didn't go there a lot. They didn't go there a ton.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But they did. Tony Stagg's done a really good job early. You heard him come out after last week saying he was up for this challenge. He was taking it as a challenge. And head-to-head, you could say Tony Staggs won this challenge pretty convincingly.
I think he did, but yeah, just going back to you saying that the Sharkies didn't really go to Talakai at all. They didn't. They went to him 2-3 times max.
Yeah.
And one of those times was with 1 minute to go. Like, you got to give him early ball. You got to give him ball early and often.
Yeah. Hashtag early ball all day.
Hashtag early ball, definitely.
Impressive from the Sharks, though. That's a good win. Impressive from the Broncos there. That's a good win for them. They need those ones. They are now sitting in 9th position. There's a massive log jam, actually. From 6th to 11th, they're all on 8 points. So, a little bit misleading, the ladder predictions there, the ladder positions there.
Yep.
But rolling into South next week for the Broncos, a team that they've already beaten, they find a little bit of confidence. They're looking okay.
Well, they beat him without Adam Reynolds last time as well, so we'll see how they do this time. Moving on to the next game, we got the Panthers defeating the Titans 18 points to 4. In this one, I thought there was a couple calls, that went against the Titans a little bit later in the game that kind of stopped them from getting back in it.
Okay.
Yeah, like there was one where AJ Brimson kicked the ball and went to chase it and he got taken out. And then I think they got a penalty against them for back chat or something, maybe. And I think,
what did you make of that first disallowed try for Dylan Edwards? What did you make of that?
the obstruction?
Yeah.
I mean, Nathan Cleary, he stopped it. He was coming back and was in the line, so I guess that's fair play.
You just got to get out of the way, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
The thing about Nathan Cleary is he's doing the right thing. He's trying to reload there.
Yeah.
Like, he's thrown the ball, gone through the line. He's trying to get back to reload. He's not trying to obstruct the line.
Yeah.
But in doing that, he has obstructed the line.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like commentators make this so much worse, and we'll get to the tackle. We'll get to the tackle on Kyle Lawton's tackle. They shape the narrative so much because when they blow up about these calls, when that's the correct call, then you go to social media and you see all these people blowing up at the same call.
Yeah.
Because of what the commentators are saying. If the commentators, a lot of the time, if they understood the rule, then we wouldn't have as much blow up as we do in the game today.
Yeah.
Like if one of them just said, look, he's coming back through the line, you're not allowed to do that. He's obstructed the defense. That's a fair enough call.
Yeah.
But instead they go, oh, I'm not sure about that. He wouldn't have got there either.
Yeah. Was that
Doesn't
Blocker?
matter. Oh,
I think it was Blocker because he said he was about 1,000 to 1 to get there.
The saying that he wouldn't have got there anyway is the worst in the game.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Does not matter.
He's still obstructed. That's a penalty.
So I thought that was fair enough. The Titans played good for 40 minutes. Again, that is just the tale of their season. I don't understand. Like, have they played the Raiders yet? I think they were up. It was a game of 40 minutes. They were up by heaps, and then the Raiders had a good 40 minutes. They come back and beat them.
No. The Titans came back and beat the Raiders.
Okay, so that way around.
They were down, what was it, 22-0 or something, and they got done like 24-22, was it?
So the Titans were up 22-0 at halftime. Raiders come back and won 24-22.
Oh, okay, so other way around.
Yeah, so both 40-minute teams.
Yep.
And they both played 2 good 40 minutes there.
Yep.
That's the tale of their years.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it should have been. It should have been closer. I think the Titans were hard done by with a couple of calls there. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents anyway.
Yeah, good first half.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, Rabbitohs defeat Manly 40 points to 22. Manly down a man, as you said before. Yeah. Kyle Lawton gets sent off for a dangerous throw. Was it? Yeah,
it was. He ended up getting charged grade 3 dangerous throw. I think a lot of people were in agreement to this, except for the Channel 9 commentary team.
Yeah.
They all thought it was overreaction, over the top. He just lost control. Just should have been a penalty. All this kind of rubbish. Seriously, he dropped the bloke on his head.
Yeah. And he picked him up, and then he jumped into it, and
the jump is ridiculous.
And he put him into like a really, really dangerous position. Like, what would everyone be saying if he dropped him straight on his head and he broke his neck?
I know.
What would everyone be saying then?
And Phil Gould actually said in the coverage, I'm sure he regrets saying this now, but he said it in the coverage, no one's hurt, play on. So do we have to wait for someone to break their neck to send the player off for that?
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying? Because that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it 100% is. Like, that is probably the worst tackle of the season so far anyway, and people are saying play on. That's not play on.
No.
That's a send-off is fair.
No, a send-off is fair. Now, a lot of people saying, yeah, he fell on his shoulder, though. Doesn't matter. It was so dangerous. So dangerous. And when he got him up, a lot of players know how to pull out of that now and know how to drop him safely. Yeah. And he just didn't. And he actually, like he said, he went on with the tackle and he ended up driving and leaving his feet. It's dangerous, ridiculous, deserved to be sent off. Carl Lawton has come out and apologised. He's very happy that nothing went wrong in that tackle. As if he didn't get hurt. As for that, let's get over with that. But Manly bounced back really well after that. I thought they reacted really well. That's a sign that the team definitely wants to win the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Their reaction to that incident was really good. They actually ended up scoring a couple of tries, and they led this game for a fair while.
Yeah, well, they scored all their points with a man down. So, and the reason Bunny scored quite a bit is because they're Manly's middle. Sorry, you could just see they started out. Yeah, they were just gassing out.
Yep. I would be pretty proud of your side here if I was a Manly fan. As for South, terrific front runners. You know what they're like. So when they did get into the game, they were just never going to get run down.
Yeah, for sure. On to the next.
I still think it's massive danger signs for South.
I think it is too.
I don't think they're playing anywhere near their best.
No, I don't think that. I think they might even miss the 8. They'll struggle to make the 8. That's for sure. Anyway, I think.
Yep.
Anyway, on to the next. We got the Warriors defeating the Raiders.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, this was a low game.
This is terrible.
21 points to 20 in a golden point kicked by Sean Johnson. But the Raiders, man, they looked good the first. Yeah, the Warriors would. It was just a low game, to be honest.
Both sides were terrible. The Warriors, you got to be. I don't know. They must be counting their lucky stars. They probably played a little bit better last week than this week against the Storm.
Yeah,
and they got smashed last week. And this week completed 59% at home. I don't know how they won this game
because the Raiders are that bad. Like
They're
the Raiders just clock off. Like halftime comes around and they're just like, we're done.
Ricky's lost for answers, eh? Ricky's press conferences are so hard to watch. He said, if we've got any fans left, I'm sorry, after the game. That's what he said. That's how down in the dumps Ricky, because he can't find an answer for this team. And it's not their best players, because their best players I still think are playing okay. Jack Whiten is playing awesome. Yeah, I think he gets the 3 points in this game. Also, a little bit weird in this one, Adam Elliott got the 3 points. Jack got 2, Reece got 1. Where are you at on the Warriors? Can they make the 8?
No, I don't think they can. No, I don't think they'll make the 8. They got 70 put on them last week.
I know. I would love to see a stat. I don't think anyone's ever conceded 70 and made the 8.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know. They both these teams are dreadful. Both these teams. I said last week the Warriors are unbackable. Now officially the Raiders are unbackable as well.
Yeah.
You can't tip either team.
Yeah. Well, I think I was watching this game and I just turned it off and I went for like a jog or something.
Yeah. You probably put on the A-League or something like this.
Yeah.
Terrible. Okay, the Raiders lost the unlosable. That's what I'm saying.
I honestly couldn't believe it because we had a bet on. We had Jack Whiten and Raiders at the line -1.5. And at half time, I'm thinking, the Raiders are actually looking good. Jack Whiten's already gone over, so
this will shit it in.
Yeah, we're good. And then second half comes around and we're still up, like, 20 minutes to go or something?
Yeah.
20 minutes to go, and I'm like, nice. We're still up. It's all good. And then, bang, they just fall apart.
I want to talk about the Matt Lodge head high. We got a question about that as well. Do you think he was milking? Matt Lodge has since come out and said he was milking. You can see on the call Wade Egan screaming at him to stay down. As soon as he takes the contact, everyone appeals, and Wade Egan literally screaming at him to stay down.
Yeah,
so they check it.
Soft.
It was shit, but it is what it is. Like he could have tackled him anywhere.
Yeah.
Didn't have to do it. And any Raiders fans that are hanging their hat on that decision, you're wrong. Your team capitulated in the second half. It wasn't because of a 79-minute penalty goal.
Yeah.
You just didn't close out the game. So I don't really see a problem. Every single team, every team has a milker. Kyle Felt's our milker. Clint Gutherson's your milker.
Oh, no, he's not, you
Yes,
coward.
he is.
No, he's not. You bastard.
Every team has one.
No. You take that back.
I will never. Actually, I think we're coming up to one of the games of the round. We've got a game in between. Let's go Bulldogs Roosters first.
Bulldogs upset the Roosters 16 points to 12. Now, I thought the Doggies did all right in this game. I thought they weren't too bad. Josh Adokar had a great game. Scored a double there. I think James Tedesco has been one of the players of the round, I think.
Yeah.
In a losing side, I think he was great.
What's the name? Josh Adokar scored 3 weeks in a row now, I think.
Yeah, I think that's 5 tries in 3 weeks.
Since people bagged you for putting him in the team of the year,
yeah,
he's come out and had a good couple of weeks. As for the Roosters, they were dreadful. Another team where their best players are playing well, like James Tedesco, is on fire.
Yeah,
he was crazy in this game. No one going with him. He kept busting through the line. And the Roosters of old, anytime they make those half breaks, there's players in numbers around the ball, and they usually just cut teams up. And they done the same to the Cowboys at home. Anytime they played up the middle, there were people pushing up and they were scoring tries. They done the same thing in this game, but they just had no support. I felt like the referees tried really hard to give this game to the Roosters, though.
You reckon?
And I don't say that very often. Some of the calls in this game were absolutely atrocious.
Give us an example, please.
One of the tries I think they scored on the left with about 10 to go. There was about 4 passes in the lead up to that. It was horrendous. And one in the middle of the park that could have been a penalty. That's how bad that 4 pass was. There was a captain's challenge where the ball come back onto Jared Reed-Hargraves, where he just knocked it on. And they said, he did knock it on, but then he propelled the ball backwards. And I'm like, okay. And then it come off his feet again. And they said, that one's backwards. It wasn't. And then it come off another person's hand. And it was like, okay, that has to be forward. And then at the end, the very last play where they where Suwali's foot's out to win the game, they cleared an obstruction that they said was an obstruction and then played on. They said, okay, well, he's hit him on the outside shoulder and impeded him. But then they kept rolling through and they said, okay, now we're looking at the grounding.
Wow.
Like, what? So what? Just because he was impeded and a couple seconds passed, do we not count it anymore?
Yeah.
And Burton got across there. I actually thought Burton hit Suwali with a high shot as well in that play. They didn't look at that. They didn't give a shit about that. And then Suwali's foot ended up being out.
Yeah.
But the Roosters didn't deserve to win this game at all. The Bulldogs were the much better side. The Roosters just hung in there.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, I don't usually talk about the referees like gifted team, but it just seemed like every single 50-50 went to the Roosters in that one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, on to the Sunday games now. We got the Storm defeating Newcastle. My team, my boys, the Storm, 50 points to 2.
Before we go there, we've got to take a little trip up to Darwin, TIO Stadium. 34 points to 4.
35.
Right? 35, yeah, you're right. 35 points to 4. What are your thoughts on this game, Denny?
What game was that, sorry?
That's the Cowboys Eels. Bit of a danger game. We thought that. We identified a danger game. Jake Arthur again at 6 with Dylan Brown in the centres.
Get him out. Honestly, no more Jake. What
Who do you play in
name
centres
as well?
Anyone. I'll be playing Isaiah
Who's on the
Papali'i
Eels
in the centres.
roster? No, you keep him in the background. Hold on. Eels roster. Let's have a look.
Why are you finding a player to play in the centres? I'm going to talk a little bit about the Cowboys. I thought defensively we were just outstanding, especially in that first half. We had none of the ball. We defended our line and we just kept turning up. In saying that, the Eels weren't throwing a ton at us, but you still got to turn up. And in seasons past, we would have rolled over. Then when it was our turn to attack, just crisp. Everything was crisp and fast. Scott Drinkwater is just electric. He's got 8 points out of his 4 games, 8 daily M points already. Kyle Felt, hat-trick here. He's in a bit of form. They said in the post-match that they identified that they were going to attack Perham on the wing there, and they did that. And they just cleaned up.
It's a stitch up. What happened? Where's Tom Opacek? Is he injured? Bring him in.
I have no idea. Bring him in?
Bring him in. Play him in centre.
I don't think Jake Arthur, right in this point in his career, is a first grader.
I don't think in any point in his career he's ever been a first grader.
What did you make of the hammer off the bench? Oh, you turned it off, didn't you?
I turned it off at 2-0.
Well, what happened? What happened for you to turn the game off?
So,
because I know you do that. You do.
Okay, so what happened was Para were attacking, and then so what happened is I was at work and I just have like this little tablet that I watch the games on. So it was when Hayes Perham got taken out in touch, about 30 out from the Cowboys line. It froze when he's getting tackled, and like he's getting taken out, and then it unfreezes, he gets taken out. I'm like, no, fuck this, turn it off.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah. So I didn't see any tries scored at all, and I'm glad I turned it off.
Yeah, because they were dreadful. Yeah. They were really bad. Also, don't love from the Eels taking a home game to Darwin against the Cowboys. Makes zero sense to me. If I'm an Eels fan, I'd be spewing like, take the only side that would probably react well in those conditions to Darwin.
Yeah.
Also, the hammer off the bench. We were saying last week that's the play. Do not take Scott Drinkwater out of this side. He was great off the bench.
Chuck him in the centres.
Yeah, but you don't even have to play in the centre. He come in the centres. I don't know if Hiku has to start in the centres. He defended really well for us. But you can play him anyway. He can pop up in the middle, just run it, like, especially back end of halves. Doesn't really matter that much. He can just fill in a bit of hooker or even just around the ruck. But then if a back does go down, he can fill in pretty much anywhere in the back line. And if you've got Scott Drinkwater in the halves, in the team as well, if a half does go down, you can throw Drinky into the halves and Hemiso to fullback. So it's a bit of versatility for us on the bench.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, go there, go the Cowboys.
I'm sick of the Cowboys, honestly. They always seem to beat Para.
Yeah, they do, and I like that because my best mate's a Para fan, so it's good for me.
No.
All right, the Knights scored 2 points in back-to-back home games. They're the first team in history to do that.
And lose both.
Yeah, only scored 2 points in back-to-back home games.
Yeah, well,
first team ever.
Like, yeah. What was it? Penalty goal right on halftime.
Yeah, down 26-0.
Wow. We'll take the 2.
Where does that put? Like, what mentality do you have to have a side to do that? I'm just thinking they're just in a bad place right now.
Like, it's almost worse.
Yeah,
losing 50-2 than 50-0.
I played in the under 17s. I want to say we had a terrible side, really bad, and we were playing out at the entrance, and we were down by Mozza. We were probably down
30.
Well, probably 40, 30. Doesn't matter. I kicked a field goal in the last 3 minutes.
Was it 40-1?
Yeah, I think we ended up losing 40-7, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's this energy.
Yeah.
And we were like laughing about it, and I'm pretty sure the crowd like cheered after they kicked this. So if the crowd's happy, that's okay.
Yeah.
But you can't be happy as a Knights fan. They're all over the place. The coach, the quote was, he said, people are going to think I've lost the plot, but I thought we played better this week than last week. You're off your head. They were terrible. They were really, really poor. Justin Olam, the second try that Olam scored was pathetic.
Was that when you just like bust through like about 6 people?
From like a standing start.
Yeah.
Like that's effort. That's nothing other than just effort.
Yeah.
50-2. The Storm are rolling again. This is what they done last year as well. Plenty of big results. They're a team that loves to score tries and loves to play fast. And they have the players to do it. Harry Grant, Cam Munster, Ryan Pappenhausen, they're just lighting up teams anytime they touch the ball.
Yeah.
Cam Munster with his back turned, and this was another thing that I thought was effort. He got the ball out dummy half. He had his back turned to the defensive line. The defensive line was half a step away and let him stand there with his back turned. He throws a 20-metre cutout ball to the winger and he scores.
Yeah.
Like, tackle him. Hit the bloke.
Yeah.
Do something.
I don't know. They're in all sorts at the moment since that Mitch Barnett elbow.
Yeah, well, it's all gone downhill since then. They have the Cowboys next week.
So if the Cowboys play like that again, it should be at least 30-0 to the Knights.
We're talking about bogey sides. The Knights are a bogey side for the Cowboys.
I hope so. I hope he's done next week. So bad.
All
Where's
right,
it at? Is it up in Townsville?
Yeah, Townsville. Remember, we hardly leave Townsville.
Yeah, that's right. As if you take a home game in Darwin. What idiots. Probably Jake Arthur's idea. Let's go to Darwin. Hey, boys,
it
let's
was
go to Darwin.
Someone with the last name Arthur, for sure.
Jake. Fuck Jake.
You love Brad, but you hate Jake.
I do love Brad. But his son, he's got a low son.
Should have been you.
Yeah. I wish I was Brad's son. I'd make him proud.
Yeah. All right. Would you play 6 for the Eels, or would you play 3 and leave Dylan Brown there?
I'd play 3 because I know Dylan Brown is better 6 than me.
Good on you.
You know what? We just started getting back into Game of Thrones. Jake Arthur is probably like Samwell Tarly to his dad.
Yeah. and to you.
Yeah, and to me, yeah. Fuck. Anyway, let's look at the last game of the round.
Yeah,
We've got the Dragons defeating the Tigers. It's 12 points to 6. Apparently, I saw some people saying that the Tigers got robbed.
There was a couple of bad calls. I thought there was this one where that Tuolangi went up midair and tried to catch the ball and put it down.
Yeah, the opening try.
Firstly, I thought he got it down. Firstly. Secondly, there was a penalty for tackling in the air, right?
Yep.
He got tackled in the air and they end up getting penalised. Is that not a try then?
That's a penalty try then.
But yeah, it wasn't. It was just a penalty.
Well, he doesn't get tackled in the air. He scores that try.
But did they change the rule? Because I swear you used to be able to tackle the attacking players. They must have changed that rule.
Yeah, you used to before. You can, if it's like in a try scoring
situation, you could tackle him.
Yeah. The attacking player, yeah.
So why can't you do that still? Like, what are we meant to let him catch it?
Maybe.
That's a silly rule change.
Yeah, no, I remember you could have because who was it? Was it Josh Morris or David Norfoluma when they jumped? I think it was Josh or Brett Morris when they jumped in the ball and they like tried to push him out of bounds and he put.
I mean, if they're trying to score a try, you got to be able to tackle them.
Yeah, no, you should be able to.
You can do almost anything if they're trying to score. You can strip the ball and everything, and it's not anything. So you can't just let them catch the ball. Anyway, I thought that should have been a penalty try. I didn't even have that big a problem with the put down. I've seen worse be given.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, the Tigers had their chances. It wasn't another real bad robbery. I thought Ben Hunt really controlled the game for mine again. He's in some rare form, Ben Hunt.
He's doing well.
He's really playing well.
Yeah. And
the Dragons are going well too. That's 3 on the trot for them. They're bouncing into... Don't worry about who they're playing this week.
They got Storm, don't they?
Yeah, they got Storm in Melbourne.
Sorry, Dragons fans, but you're going to get romped.
For full form reasons, should Ben Hunt sit out this week?
Yes.
You just don't want to keep... He's your best player. You don't want him to get down at all.
Just... Who's on their side? Let's have a look. Rest, Zach Lomax, Ben Hunt.
Yep.
The rest can play.
You know who's playing good for the Dogs? Paul Vaughan. Paul Vaughan's playing good footy.
He's actually having a good year, to be honest.
Yeah. I think he got the man of the match this week.
Yeah, he's doing real well.
Actually, no, he didn't. Teddy did, but I'm pretty sure he polled. Pretty sure he polled in that game. Anyway, that's it for this week. Give us one more comment on the Eels Cowboys game.
If you try and make me talk about this one more time, I will literally leave the studio.
That's your house.